Welcome to the Think and Grow Well Show. If you allow your doctor, your insurance, or your Uncle Sam to define healthy, or you blame someone else for the way you feel, or you seek the fountain of youth in a prescription bottle, at a needle tip, or along the scalpel's edge, then be advised, you are about to be offended. You should probably leave now.
Anybody can just think and feel better? That's scary. I mean, thoughts aren't regulated by the feds, and no drug company has a patent on them. So thinking thoughts must not be very safe or effective.
If you love feeling frisky and having fun, take responsibility for your own vitality, and want freedom to enjoy epic experiences with folks you love, welcome aboard and prepare to be blown away. The Think and Grow Well Show starts now. Here's your host, Dr. Lori Barr.
Hi, I'm Dr. Lori Barr. This is Think and Grow Well. You've heard me tell the story about my friend who thought she had gotten over her condition that she thought was a reaction to medication, and then the symptoms came back, and how that just filled her with dread, worry, fear, and doubt. Well, you might wonder where that worry and that fear and that doubt come from, and how does it fit into the thoughts, the thinking into results, the thinking into physical action part of living. So let's talk about 3 sources of worry, fear, and doubt. What are worry, fear, and doubt? They're negative emotions. We talked about a little bit about how the mind works. There's the conscious mind, and then there's the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is where you exercise your mental muscles and you filter the information that's coming in from the outside world and decide if it's relevant for you. And you can only do one of 3 things with your conscious mind. You can either accept an idea, reject an idea, or neglect an idea. And when the idea gets into the subconscious mind, then it's translated into a memory that contains a visual, an auditory component, sometimes other sensory components, and it's tied to an emotion, the emotion being a vibration. So worry, fear, and doubt are emotions. So where might they arise from if we feel them? Are they going to arise from the conscious mind or the subconscious mind? The subconscious mind. So their feelings, they come from the subconscious mind and they rise to the conscious level. That's how we notice them. Right? When you take notice of your feelings, then you're conscious about them. So at that point, they're on your conscience. They're on your radar screen. You're not running on autopilot. You actually are engaging with that emotion. But the question is that emotion valid for the experience you're having currently? And that's where looking at how those feelings of worry, fear, and doubt, where they really come from is important. So whenever you feel an emotion that you don't particularly like, the first question is, what am I feeling? And the next question, is this really related to what's happening right now? Where did it come from? Okay? And there are 3 places that worry, fear, and doubt tend to come from. Actually, any emotion, really, that's stored in your memories comes from usually one of these 3 places. One is our genetic programming. The second is the interaction, the relationship we have with the outside world and with our inner world. And number 3, our paradigms, our belief systems. If we specifically look at the relationship of worry, fear, and doubt to disease, since the beginning of time, man has developed stigmas around those who are sick, those who are demented, and those who act outside of the norm. So diseases are associated with stigma, and we tend to shy away from people who are sick. That is genetic programming. Stay away from sick people so you don't get sick too. This forms collective memories that are passed on from generation to generation. Like, have you ever seen those YouTube videos of cats and cucumbers? Just Google that, cats and cucumbers. Why does the cat jump when he sees a cucumber? He thinks it's a snake. We do the same thing, but not with cucumbers. If we see a snake, we jump, right? That's a collective memory that has shaped our societal thoughts and influences us as individuals to have some instinctual behavior. Okay, so that's how genetics plays into the picture. If you'd like to know more about how our genetic programming shapes our perceptions and our lives, you might want to look further into the research of Dr. Rupert Sheldrake, who has done some studies on morphogenic fields and morphic resonance, which has to do with the fact that the mature shape of something is embedded in the genetic code of the seed. You might find that interesting. Now, what about the environment? How about what we surround ourselves with? There are plenty of negative vibrations that radiate from other individuals who are suffering from diseases in public places, hospitals, medical clinics, the grocery store. You see people in pharmacies. You see people at bus stops who are clearly not well. And consciously or unconsciously, we tune in to their negative emotions. We feel them. We feel what they're vibrating at. We feel their frequency, whether it's conscious to us or not. And that definitely can be translated into negative emotions or bring our own vibration down. This is especially true in healthcare environments where not only are patients sick, but sometimes the healthcare providers may feel overworked or underappreciated as caregivers. They may be flatly exhausted. You see this in nursing homes. You see this in environments where there are long-term home caregivers who are bringing people for care. And all of those negative vibrations can definitely feed our own worry and fear and doubt around disease and aging and longevity and dying and all of those processes that are actually, for the most part, just a normal part of life. If you find yourself experiencing worry, fear, or doubt and you don't notice it, it's just going to add to that storehouse that is your paradigm that defines each of those terms. And you're going to have vague feelings around it, and you're not going to actually be able to act on it because it's an automatic reaction in you. However, if you can recognize and define the negative emotion and experience it in the now, then you can release it and not be burdened by it. So the appropriate response when these memories intrude on our life is to go ahead and absolutely recognize what you're feeling and put a name on it. Oh, wow, this might be worry. Let me check my worry memories. Yes, this feels like the worry I've felt in the past. Is it just that I'm feeling it because it's similar and I don't know how else to name this new experience? Or is it really something I want to spend my time worrying about? If it's an emotion you don't want to experience, acknowledge what you're feeling. Acknowledge that it either is or isn't related to the current situation. If it's not, just say, oh no, this is not like the last time I worried. So this is not the right name to put on this experience. And give it another name. Or better yet, pick something you'd rather feel. Reframe it for yourself. Hardships can become growth opportunities. How can you flip it? How can you reframe it so it gives off a different, higher frequency vibration for you to resonate with than worry, fear, or doubt, which are absolutely immobilizing? When you're young, you don't have the mental muscles developed in your conscious mind to help you consciously discern your choice between accepting or rejecting an idea. Everything passively enters into your subconscious mind because you're open to receive. You're learning at exponential levels, and because of that rapid learning phase, everything goes in unquestioned. That may serve you later. It may not serve you so well later. So sometimes some of our memories aren't very clearly defined because we experienced them when we were so young. So you may have been in an environment where there was a consistent smell. Like, let's say that you grew up and you were the youngest and you had brothers and they all played sports, and so you grew up with the smell of boy sweat, and that smell meant family to you because you smelled it from the time you were born until the time you left home. Boy sweat equals love and family to you. Well, what does that mean? Anytime you smell boy sweat, you're going to feel fantastic, right? But you may not know why, because you may not consciously realize the boy sweat smell means love to you. The more that we can identify the sensory factor that's tied to an emotion when we're experiencing it in the now, the better it'll help us reframe memories of our past and make sense of our past and use it to serve us and let go of those ideas that no longer serve us.
Your next steps.
Your action step is to reflect on your childhood and recall any shocking events that created or continue to create for you feelings that immobilize you. Negative emotions such as worry, fear, and doubt. Search your memory for the sensory triggers, that's what you see, feel, hear, taste, or smell, or maybe it's that little ESP thing that triggers that emotion and causes you to revisit your memory. Go ahead and write about that in your journal. Name the event, name the trigger sensory impulse, and the prevailing emotion that is associated with the event. As you reflect on these, it'll help you organize and define and clarify those emotions so that when you experience a new emotion or a new feeling that's similar, you can ask yourself and get a clear answer on, is this really related to the now or is this related to my past? I'm Dr. Lori Barr. Remember, one idea is all it takes to change your world. I'll see you next time as we both continue to think and grow well.
Psst, be aware. Vitality is an inside job. Trust your spirit, make up your mind, and get your body in gear. There are no second chances.